Hey there, comic book fans. I got to go to the comic shop early this week. So I'm back with 6 new comics, plus a magazine. And here, a moment of silence for the final issue, number 42 of Rachel Rising. Hold on, here's our moment. Now we're done. Nice, sort of pensive. This must be Rachel before she was dead. Been a good series. I'm a Terry Moore fan. Always good artwork. Last we saw, Lilith was taking on the devil or somebody. Finishing up the story. This looks like a lot of explaining in this issue. I can't recommend Rachel Rising enough. It was a good series. AbstractStudios.com on the back. He's Terry Moore, known for Strangers in Paradise, Echo, Strangers in Paradise 2. Let's see, he did a SIP Kids, I think was it. Strangers in Paradise 2 was an interesting series that came out years ago, which was just sort of little odds and ends stuff he did. Kid strips, all sorts of interesting little tidbits that didn't have anything to do with Strangers in Paradise, but it was a nice little book. But anyway, Rachel Rising, 42 issues, the story is done. We'll have to see what he does next. Next, we have East of West, number 26, with its cover that looks like every other freaking East of West cover, with this monochrome half cover. If I open this up to blank pages and start shouting, please excuse me. I'll try to open up to not blank pages. Oh, I failed. More blank pages. As much as I complain about the blank pages in East of West and the covers I don't like, I do enjoy the comic. I believe we just had a character of old show up at the end of last issue, so we'll see what he has to do with this issue. East of West is a big, sprawling story about an alternate future where all sorts of magic stuff happens, and the United States is broken up into 5 or 6 different lands, and the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are coming, and there's mysticism and science mysticism and all sorts of weird stuff. And a blank back cover, but that says something. I can't even read it. It's too low. Who prints 20% gray on white? Anyway, enough complaining about the East of West package. The East of West actual comic is really good. And here we go with Imperium, number 16. You know, Imperium number 15 might be the first issue. There's our couple of our characters. Sunlight on Snow is the robot. Might have been the first issue that I didn't like. Some nice artwork in this one. Only because Imperium is sort of a realpolitik superhero book, and often there's life or death consequences for the characters. In that they're playing for really big stakes here, so people live and people die. And we kind of had a showdown between the two, I guess you'd call them super teams, last issue. And they really didn't fight, and everybody lived, and it was just kind of like a fight without consequence. It seemed that every single character had plot immunity, so they just kind of puttered around pretending to fight for an issue. And now this issue we have a big showdown between Harada and the techno woman who can talk to machines, whose name I can't remember. But overall, I've liked Imperium. It's been a really good comic book. Issue 16 hopefully was just a little blip. And I'm going to keep going with it. And next we have Monstrous, issue number 6. Nice cover. They're always nice, intricate covers on this book and intricate art inside. I've very much been enjoying Monstrous. Last issue, let's see, we had a big reveal at the end that the somebody court, the shadow court, the whoever court showed up, and I guess they're going to judge our monstrous little girl. Who is that, her? This is a sort of a high fantasy story with let's see, humans and magical creatures who have been at war. Now they have détente, if not at peace, and bunch of people are trying to keep the peace. Bunch of people don't want to keep the peace. That sort of story. Politics, magic, soldiers, flying horses, unicorns. Hey, I didn't even notice that was a unicorn. But if you like a really pretty fantasy story, check out Monstrous. And next we have Rough Riders issue number 2. I think issue number 3 comes out next week. This is one I just put on my pull list, and they back-ordered me 2. I guess they weren't able to get 1 yet. I'll worry about that some other time. But this is one of the Aftershock comics I wanted to try. It's like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen sort of comic with Teddy Roosevelt as its center. I think that's Annie Oakley there. As they, I guess that's the whole crew. Is that Harry Houdini who's throwing the cards? And Jack Johnson, was he the bare knuckle champion? I don't know. They're all people from, I think, the turn of the 19th/20th century. And I guess, that must be Harry Houdini. He's all tied up in chains trying to escape something. And that's Teddy Roosevelt there, and I think Jack Johnson. Was that? Jeez, I can't remember. Actually, it is Jack Johnson, because I have a Trevor Von Eden book that's really good called The Magnificent Johnson, which is a bio comic about Jack Johnson. But anyway, Rough Riders issue number 2. Hoping it'll be good. I just ran to my shelf and got these just for the heck of it. The Original Johnson is the name of it, by Trevor Von Eden. It's a bio comic about the life of Jack Johnson, one of I think he was the first black heavyweight champion of the world in the U.S. in the early 1900s, so he faced all sorts of racism and stuff, but he was I just don't give a damn kind of guy, and he was the heavyweight champion, but really, really good story. And Trevor Von Eden, this is one of those where just looking at the art doesn't do it justice, because Trevor Von Eden's storytelling is so good that I remember flipping through this and going, the art's okay. But when I actually sat down and read it, it was, the storytelling was so good, it was mesmerizing. But anyway, just because I got those Rough Riders, I wanted to show you that. And check this out. Who's on the bandwagon now? That's me. Woohoo! DC Universe Rebirth. You know what? I read a couple of good things about this on the internet, and it's a $3 80-page book. So I figured, what the heck? I may as well give it a read. And of course, got the free DC Universe Rebirth, the next epic starts here poster. I have no idea what I'm going to... It's on a nice cardstock, though. I might draw on that, the back of it. But anyway, is this a wraparound? Oh, so there were 2 covers to choose from. I actually went for this one only because, not because I liked it a ton better than the other one, but this is one of those 80-page books where if you look at the bottom of the spine here, a lot of the spines are split and cracked right there just because, it's an 80-page book that's, too many pages for this cover stock, so it kind of burst a lot of them. So I went with the one that was least burst. That's the only reason I chose this cover. But, you know what? 80 pages, $3, good reviews, I'll give it a try. And finally, we got ourselves the second issue of Image Plus. Now, I haven't even flipped through this yet. I just picked it up and threw it in my pile. Kill or Be Killed, #1. So that's what that is. Ooh, new Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. That's what it's called, huh? That one's going on the pull list, automatic. Jonathan Hickman interview. I enjoyed the first issue. Gave me lots of Lake of Fire, lots of previews, little short Negan story at the end. I must say, if they keep this Image Plus little magazine up, I'll keep getting it just because I find it fun. And finally, we'll give you a look at a couple of pieces of art I did recently. These are both inks. This is from one of a series of sort of out of my head female figure drawings I've been doing. I kind of have two different styles of drawing figures. One is referenced and one is not referenced. This is not and they tend to, you know, look completely different. One looks more cartoony than the other. And I'm probably going to put some color in this on the computer at some point or another. What's funny to me is these weird little flames on her leg keep making it look like she has hairy legs every time I see it. I'm like, did I draw hair all over her legs? But no, I drew strange little flames on her legs. And this one is odd in that nice little drawing. Not odd in that it's a sort of typical large figure, large face in the foreground, smaller figure in the background, strange geometric background. But I didn't blacken her eyes in. I always do that, and for some reason I didn't on this one. And I keep looking at it and going, I should blacken her eyes in. Then I'm like, I kind of like them white. I don't know why, and the lure of blackening her eyes in keeps coming up. But I'm not sure if I will or not. But if I keep looking at it and saying, I should blacken her eyes in, I just might. But until then, they'll stay white. All right, so you guys have a good week out there.